How's it going, YouTube? This is Wake Run Collapse. First of all, I want to apologize for the lateness of uploads this weekend. I'm filming them right before upload, and I won't have an opportunity to work on these in the morning. So until Sun and Moon 3 drops, which will hopefully be sometime on Monday for this channel, uploads will be pretty late. Secondly, the vote video will not be posted until Sunday. I know it's been a regular Friday series, but we're going to move it to Sunday because the series will be preempted in favor of the two brand new Japanese expansions. You'll have nearly 2 weeks to submit your vote for that video, so make sure not to miss out on the chance for a freebie from my collection. Now let's get down to why we're here. The full art and ultra rare scans for Sun and Moon 3 have been released into the wild. Thanks for Autobot Tesla, to Autobot Tesla, mind you, for providing these great scans on his Twitter. Link will be in the description, and make sure to check him out and give him a follow. Thanks also go out to the great Japanese collectors who were able to procure these sets upon release, or even a little bit before release in some cases, and were kind enough to share the scans of their pulls with the world. Now, keep in mind as we go through these scans that First edition booster boxes are now guaranteed to have a super rare or better inside. So if you're getting a box from the first run, you can look forward to adding one of these fabled cards to your collection. For the sake of simplicity, super rare and hyper rare cards will be compiled and coupled together, and the rest will go in order of set. So kicking things off with Battle Rainbow, we have the Charizard full art. I hate to say it, but after the wondrous Wild Blaze full art print, I'm not all that impressed here. Charizard cards should be packing some serious presence, and I actually might like the regular GX art more than the super rare print. The hyper rare, however, is going to be massively expensive in all likelihood, so the prestige of the rainbow print elevates that card quite a bit for me. The same goes for the Ho-Oh cards in my opinion. Ho-Oh already looked so good as a full art in both Dragon Blade and Rage of the Broken Sky, and I can't help but think this card is a bit of a step down. Again, the hyper rare seems to make a difference with this one. The good news is that card scans I generally don't find impressive typically look better in person, so I'm hoping that's the case here. Going through the rest a bit more quickly, we have Alolan Muck as a full art, which was a big surprise for me. Not in terms of the art, which I think is average, but that it exists at all. They still have a lot of work to do when it comes to properly including unrepresented or second-tier Pokemon in the TCG, like Where's My Scolipede full art, but this is a cool thing to see. Noivern does look a little better in my opinion, personally, maybe a little bit better than the Alolan Muck full art, but it does expose a problem with the Battle Rainbow expansion. So, Charizard and Ho-Oh are both fire types, and Muck and Noivern have similar color palettes in their super rare prints. Put them on display together, and the regular full arts just don't seem to complement each other well. I would have personally traded out one of each pair for a Pokemon from the other set just to balance it out, maybe sending Charizard and Muck over in exchange for like Marshadow and Gardevoir. It would have worked out a bit better for this set in my opinion. Now in terms of full art supporters, and forgive the butchering of these names, I didn't play the games, I've never heard of these characters before. Kiawe looks pretty great and really stands out from the background, while Plumeria has a cool design and a color choice that should help offset some of the similarities from the other cards. Escape Rope and Muscle Dumbbells are your ultra rare trainers here. A Golden Rope is a boring choice to this non-player here, but Golden Dumbbells are kinda hilarious, so it's nice to see them go that route with this one. Naturally, Fire Energy gets the special treatment as the last card in Battle Rainbow, as that is the predominant element that the big ticket cards for this set will represent, so kind of makes sense that it's going to be here. Moving on to Darkness That Consumes Light, for which I hope to come up with a replacement name for YouTube's sake, like let's simplify this if we can. We're going to start with the Golisopod full art. I think this guy looks pretty cool despite not having the recognition or prestige of a lot of other Pokemon. The hyper rare doesn't add much here, but that's okay, because I'd rather both cards were exciting to pull, and that seems like it's going to be the case. The Necrozma super rare is almost certainly my favorite from either set. Just a fantastic design for a Pokemon that comes through brilliantly in this artwork. Again, the hyper rare would be excellent to pull here, but we'll see what happens with that. My fingers are crossed. I need that card. Now, as far as Marshadow goes, I'm quite undecided at this point. The two versions of the card look shockingly different, and I'm not sure if I like or dislike either of them. It definitely doesn't look like the kind of guy who regularly appears on these, but I think I'll have to see them in person to make up my mind. Lastly, we have Gardevoir, and clearly I have an issue with this card even existing. With the silly amount of prints this Pokemon has gotten in the last couple of years, I'm going to have to rent out extra space just to store all my Gardevoirs at this point. But I will begrudgingly admit that both prints look great, and I would not be disappointed at all to add them to my collection with a booster pack pull at some point throughout the case. The Guzma full art is very colorful, and while it is super cartoony like that Team Skull Grunt full art, I think it works quite well. Wiki, wow, that might not be right at all, is a somewhat uncomfortable design for a card, which I guess is something we'll have to get used to if we haven't already, though I like how the orange background reminds me of that old Professor Juniper full art supporter, which was a pretty cool card to also pull on this channel all those years ago. The bizarre choice of ultra rares continues, sadly, with the Super Scoop Up. I understand the value of printing playable trainers as golden cards to encourage sales, but they just don't add much to a collector like me or like a lot of other people. Maybe it's not as exciting as another golden card might be. Same thing with the Rescue Stretcher, which had better become a meme where members of our community are photoshopped onto it after getting the smackdown on social media. That's really the only benefit I could get from this card. Finally, yes, after all these cards, we're to the last one. We have the Fairy Energy print, which I think will look pretty solid in person, but again, it doesn't do much beyond the mirror foil prints and regular prints that we've already seen in this gen. Now, I've talked quite enough for one video, so now it's time for you to tell me what you think. You got a favorite? A least favorite? A weird itch that just won't go away? Keep that last one to yourself, but share those other two thoughts of yours in the comments section below. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you throughout the weekend for more fun before these awesome cards start appearing one by one on the channel, one booster box at a time, starting on Monday.